without that big mortgage around my neck.
So water did it for you?
Certainly did.
Max was only able to build his mortgage-free home because he was already on the property ladder. But someone who's starting from scratch is first-time boat owner Kimberly, whose 100-year-old Dutch barge is in the dry dock in East London after being surveyed for structural problems. As an experienced water dweller, designer Max has come along to see if he can lend a hand.
Good morning, Kimberly.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. This looks incredible.
Thank you.
You've got a big project on your hands, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been pretty hard work.
I imagine. More work than you thought?
A lot more work than I thought.
So, you've had the survey carried out, and I hear there's good and bad news.
Yes. So the whole thing's about £2,000 worth of work. The good news is it doesn't need to be done within, it doesn't need to be done right now before it goes out. It can be done within the next 9 months.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to move out of my flat and then use the deposit from my flat that I'm getting back to then carry out those works.
Now, tell me about the budget. Where are we financially? How much have you spent and how much have you got left?
How much have I spent? About 6,000.
So, 25 grand overall budget, 18 on the boat. You've spent 6 already. By my calculations, that leaves £1,000 left to finish the entire build. So how exactly do you plan on fitting the whole boat out for £1,000?
Amongst all this, I've managed to get myself a job in January, so that's going to help a bit.
Brilliant. Well, let's go take a look.
Yeah.
You can talk me through the interior design.
Come have a look.
Just plain safe.
Yes.
It might be bad news about the hull, but Max is keen to bring some good news by giving Kimberly some inventive storage solutions.
Oh, I love that smell. It smells boaty, doesn't it? Or diesely.
Diesely, yeah.
This is a really nice space. I'm guessing this is going to be your lounge area.
Yes, it is.
So, in terms of storage, you can't have a wardrobe. You can't really have a traditional chest of drawers.
No.
You can't have standard furniture pretty much.
No.
And also the walls, whilst they're quite vertical, they've got a slight slope on them. So standard fitted furniture doesn't really go in a boat very well, I found.
Yeah.
My nervousness is, because I went through this myself, is that when you go from a house, you have little cubby holes where you're storing suitcases or spare kettles and toasters and random things that you store and hoard when you live in a house.
Yep.
And I fear that when you move out, you're going to turn up with about 8 boatloads of stuff and only 1 boat to put it in. So I think storage is going to be key. Now, I suspect under these floorboards, you've actually got a lot of unused space. So I think it's worth having a look, just in case we can squeeze a little bit more storage out of that hole.
Okay.
Oh, I am absolutely shocked by how little space there is under there.
It is shallow, isn't it?
The good news is, if you've got anything that tall that you want to store
Yeah.
in the cool, because actually it's quite cold down there, so I'm thinking white wine, potatoes even. You don't want potatoes keeping up valuable storage space in your kitchen cabinets.
I do.
So they can live under the floor. So even though it's a small space, all is not lost.
Even eternal optimist Max is struggling to come up with creative storage ideas on Kimberly's frighteningly small Dutch barge. And having somewhere to store her spuds is little consolation for what is still a massive issue. She might not be able to dig down, but one way Kimberly can increase her space, however, is by moving up. After Damien's great suggestion to lift the ceiling in the bedroom, Kimberly has got some money from a recent job and has been able to pay a team of workmen to raise the roof. To heighten the bedroom, the top window between the 2 cabins must be removed before the bedroom roof can be cut off. Then it's a matter of installing new supports to bring the bedroom roof up to the same height as the main cabin.
The first cut's being made in the roof of the boat, and this is a bit that's going to be reused. So I think he's scoring a line. Cutting into it.
The first piece they're removing will be recycled as the new top window in the front wall of the bedroom, as Kimberly's determined to keep as much of the original character as possible.
Oh, careful. Oh. Oh my gosh. It's moving. Whoa, it's huge. I can see into the living room.
6 hours later, and the time has finally come to raise the roof.
Oh my god.
next day, in broad daylight, Kimberly gets her first glimpse of what her new and improved bedroom will look like.
Look. It's my room. That's a real bedroom, which is really nice. And then there's going to be, the two windows at the top there. So the view going out, it's going to be really beautiful. So much better than I could ever imagine, really. It's so nice. Really lovely. And it's starting to feel really, really real, which is great. And I am starting to cry more often. Not like, but in a lovely way. It's just because I think I feel free. I feel freer than I ever have. Ever.
6 months ago, 29-year-old part-time model Kimberly took on the mammoth task of building her very own mortgage-free floating home in London on a budget of just £25,000.
Gosh, you need quite some imagination, don't you?
By far the biggest challenge, however, was downsizing to such a small space, especially with a bedroom where the ceiling wasn't even high enough to stand up.
Into the bedroom.
Wow.
You have to bend down a little bit when you come into this bedroom area.
It was an unbelievably ambitious undertaking, but Kimberly pushed on regardless, and I can't wait to see the end result. Just 6 months after buying a rusty 100-year-old barge with no prior experience of living on boats, Kimberly has completely transformed it.
Hello.
Hi, hello.
Nice to
How
see
are
you
you?
again.
Lovely to
Come
see
on.
you. It's looking amazing. I love the fact that as you walk down the path, you can glimpse inside, but every window you see a little bit more. It's so gorgeous. So has it been really, really hard work?
It took a while and it was difficult, but it does. I do feel like it kind of gives me confidence to do lots of other things.
It's brilliant. Let's see inside.
Okay.
Considering she had zero building knowledge, what Kimberly has done is incredible. Every item of furniture she made from scratch using salvaged materials. There's a kitchen with handmade wood panelling on the walls, a hob she picked up for free, and a sink unit made entirely from scrap wood and a pair of old drawers. Kimberly also has a fully functioning bathroom with shower, bath, and a toilet she built herself from an old dining chair.
But it's a really big bathroom for a boat, and it's a proper bathroom. You've got a bath.
I do. I can really fit in it very well.
And then you've got this sparkly gold loo with a gold loo seat in a chair.
Yeah.
God, most boats wouldn't have a bathroom this size. There's normally a really compromised, horrible little shower that you kind of have to squash into like this. So to have such a glamorous loo and to have a bath as well, brilliant.
I'm glad you like it.
Well, if this is everything to go by, the rest of it must be fantastic.
Can't wait for you to see.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Glad you like
New
it.
home.
I know, I'm still looking around and I can't take it.
That's so brilliant.
Yeah.
And you made the sofa, didn't you?
Yes, I made this sofa out of panels of wood that I found.
Wow.
This is storage.
Great.
It's brilliant. I mean, yeah, I actually think I've got more storage on the boat than I ever had in the flat. And I'm not joking, because I've got places to store things everywhere.
And
And
that's a really comfy sofa.
if you try it, you see, it's
That's lovely, actually.
really, it's a really good sofa.
Yeah. So you sit here, light the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, what's not to love? This is brilliant.
I like it.
And then your bed down here. Of course, this was the point at which you had to duck down and go down into
So,
the lower
yeah.
level. But by opening it all up, you ended up with so much difference.
I never believed that it would be this big. It really is bigger than my first room I rented in London. It's bigger because I had a single bed.
Oh, goodness.
And there's storage. So you come over here.
And all of that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Huge amounts of storage in there. No compromises,
No,
really.
no. But storage everywhere. What a lovely home you've created. Brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kimberly's kooky yet cosy floating home really is fantastic, and Max and Damien are particularly interested to see some of her design solutions.
No, oh my God.
That.
She's done it. She's just opened it up massively. I mean, this is right up your street because this is all reclaimed, found stuff. I mean, you must be in your element.
Look at these little upside door handles, and I know what this is. Ta-da! What a really cool use of space, because otherwise that would have gone completely unused. And actually, it's freezing cold down there, and they've lined it with steel, so that's going to really keep those veggies nice and cold.
But the nice thing about this boat is just having all of these windows, so your eye is constantly being taken past the edge of the boat, which means it always feels like it's a lot bigger than what it is. But of course, it wasn't always the case. When we got down towards the back, it got lower and it got darker, and it was always feeling quite sort of dingy towards the back of the boat. These little side wings here, they were about this far in, so you only had a small opening, and then the ceiling was here, so you're actually sort of ducking through this small little part. It would have just been so infuriating every day to be walking around in the bedroom space like this. This has just transformed it.
It has absolutely changed it.
I think she's done a completely wonderful job on this. We've got to go and tell her. Come on in.
Hi. Hello.
I love what you've done downstairs, that extra height in the roof. It just makes all the difference. Are you pleased with it?
I love it. I just didn't imagine the whole time it would be that big.
I think on a day like today, it's such a lovely setting and it feels like such a great space to be in. I mean, congratulations, you've done such a wonderful job. Enjoy it.
You've got to get back to London.
Bye.
Bye.
Despite all the added expense of getting the basic hull shipshape and structurally sound, what Kimberly has achieved here in just 6 months with sheer determination, hard graft and a lot of imagination is truly inspiring. But I'm keen to know about the final budget.
So you had £25,000, you bought the boat for 18, and you had 7,000 left over to do it up. How much did you end up spending in total?
I spent 33,000.
So you had 8,000 over, and where do you find that money?
When I moved out of the flat, I got my deposit back, and I was able to save up from the rent that I didn't spend. So that was incredible. It's so when you're not renting, you can just save up so easily.
I'm not saying that £33,000 isn't a lot of money, because
No,
it is a lot
it
of
is
money
a lot
to
of money,
save.
yes.
But you've ended up owning your own home, which you've built yourself for £33,000, and now you're living without any mortgage, without any loan, totally rent-free.
It's really beautiful.
That's the result.
Yeah. I feel very, very proud that I've allowed myself to sort of, actually live out my dream.
Well, you should be.
In just 6 months, Kimberly has created a stunning home in a beautiful Dutch barge. But what's really inspiring is that she can now live anywhere she wants on the water in London, mortgage and rent-free. And that is impressive.